Have you ever felt like God is calling you to something greater, yet you find yourself hesitating, unsure if you should take that leap of faith? The story of Rebekah is a powerful reminder that divine purpose often calls us to step out of our comfort zones, challenging our beliefs and perceptions. Many might argue that her tale is just a historical account, but what if I told you it holds timeless lessons that could transform your life today? In a world that constantly bombards us with distractions, Rebekah's example of faith, courage, and willingness to serve can be a game-changer. Her journey demonstrates that embracing God's call can lead to incredible opportunities and a life filled with purpose. Are you ready to dive into her story and discover how it can inspire you to change your life for the better? In the ancient world, the role of women was often defined by their family and their marital status. Rebekah lived in a time when marriages were typically arranged, and family connections were crucial for survival and prosperity. Women were seen as vessels for carrying on family lineage, making their choices significantly impactful. Rebekah's story unfolds in a culture where a woman's obedience to her family and her ability to bear children were paramount. Rebekah was born into a family with deep roots and rich traditions. Her background provided her with a strong foundation in the values of faith and family. She was likely familiar with the stories of her ancestors, including Abraham's covenant with God. This historical context sets the stage for understanding her character and the significance of her choices. As we explore Rebekah's journey, it becomes clear that she was more than just a passive figure in history. She embodied the qualities of courage and faith, which were essential for fulfilling God's purpose. Rebekah's life offers us a glimpse into the experiences of women in her time and how they navigated their roles within society. By examining the historical context of Rebekah's life, we can appreciate the depth of her story. She was a woman who faced challenges and choices that would ultimately change the course of history. Her willingness to accept God's calling showcases the importance of individual faith in the larger narrative of God's plan. Understanding the era in which Rebekah lived enriches our appreciation for her decisions and the legacy she left behind. It reminds us that, despite the constraints of her time, she chose to embrace her destiny, which was intertwined with God's promises to Abraham and his descendants. God's promise to Abraham. God made a significant promise to Abraham that his descendants would be numerous and blessed. This promise was not just about physical lineage but also about spiritual heritage. The covenant God established with Abraham set the stage for the unfolding of his plans through generations. Rebekah's life plays a crucial role in this divine narrative. As the story progresses, we see how God's promise to Abraham influenced the lives of his children. The choice of a wife for Isaac was vital to ensure the continuation of God's covenant. This highlights the importance of Rebekah's role in fulfilling God's promises. She was not merely a participant, she was a key player in the unfolding story of God's faithfulness. When the servant of Abraham sought a bride for Isaac, it was not just a personal quest but a mission to honor God's promise. Rebekah was chosen to be part of this divine plan, showcasing how God orchestrates events to align with His will. Her willingness to accept this calling demonstrates the significance of her faith and obedience. Rebekah's story reminds us that God's promises often come with responsibilities. She was called to be the mother of a great nation, and this calling came with challenges. Yet, her faith in God helped her navigate these challenges, ensuring that the promise made to Abraham would be fulfilled through her lineage. Through Rebekah, we see the continuation of God's redemptive story. Her acceptance of this promise reflects a deep trust in God's plan. In our own lives, we too are called to recognize the promises God has made and to respond with faith and obedience, just as Rebekah did. God's calling. Rebekah's story is a powerful illustration of how God calls individuals to fulfill His purposes. When the servant of Abraham arrived at the well, he prayed for guidance. His request for a sign was a crucial moment that demonstrated the significance of divine intervention in finding Rebekah. God's calling often comes unexpectedly, leading us to places we might never have imagined. When Rebekah appeared at the well, she not only fulfilled the servant's prayer but also showed her willingness to serve. Her actions of offering water to the servant and his camels were acts of kindness that revealed her character. This moment signifies how God uses ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary tasks. Rebekah's acceptance of the servant's proposal highlights her faith in the unseen. She had no prior knowledge of Isaac, yet she trusted the process and the God behind it. This leap of faith is a reminder that sometimes, we must step into the unknown to fulfill our destinies. Rebekah's story encourages us to embrace God's calling, even when it feels uncertain. By accepting her calling, Rebekah became part of God's grand plan for humanity. Her decision to leave her family and journey to a new land was not easy. However, her courage to follow God's leading is a testament to her faith. In our lives, we may encounter similar calls that require us to step out of our comfort zones. Ultimately, Rebekah's willingness to accept God's calling demonstrates the power of obedience. Her journey shows us that when we respond to God's invitations, we participate in a greater purpose. It serves as a reminder that God is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events for His glory and our benefit. The encounter with Abraham's servant. The moment Rebekah encountered Abraham's servant marked a turning point in her life. She was not just meeting a stranger, she was stepping into a divine plan that had been unfolding for generations. The servant's arrival at the well was a culmination of prayers and faith, setting the stage for a miraculous meeting. As the servant shared his mission with Rebekah, it became evident that this was no ordinary request. He spoke of Abraham's promise and the importance of finding a suitable bride for Isaac. Rebekah listened intently, recognizing the significance of what was being asked of her. This moment was not just about a marriage proposal, it was about a divine connection. Rebekah's response was filled with grace and humility. She understood the weight of the decision before her and chose to act with kindness. Offering water to the servant and his camels demonstrated her nurturing spirit and willingness to serve. This act of hospitality was a reflection of her character, which aligned with the qualities needed for God's chosen partner for Isaac. The servant's confidence in God's guidance further solidified Rebekah's belief in the divine nature of their encounter. This meeting was a reminder that God often orchestrates circumstances to fulfill His purposes. Rebekah's willingness to engage with the servant and learn more about Isaac showcased her openness to the unknown. Ultimately, the encounter with Abraham's servant was a pivotal moment that changed Rebekah's life forever. It marked the beginning of her journey toward becoming a matriarch in the lineage of Abraham. This moment encourages us to be attentive to the divine encounters in our own lives and to respond with faith and openness. Rebekah's decision. Rebekah's decision to accept the servant's proposal was a profound moment of faith and courage. It required her to leave behind everything familiar, her family, her home, and her culture. This choice illustrates the deep trust she had in God's plan, even when she could not see the full picture. The reactions of her family played a significant role in this decision. They recognized the significance of the offer and initially hesitated. However, Rebekah's resolute spirit shone through. She demonstrated a willingness to follow God's calling, knowing that it would lead her to her purpose. Her decision to embark on this journey reflects her courage and determination. Rebekah's choice also speaks to the challenges of obedience. It is not always easy to step into the unknown, especially when it involves leaving loved ones behind. However, Rebekah's faith in God's promises helped her navigate these emotions. Her story encourages us to consider what God may be calling us to leave behind in pursuit of our destiny. In making her decision, Rebekah became an example of how faith can lead to extraordinary outcomes. She accepted her role in God's grand narrative, showing that sometimes the most significant decisions come with the greatest sacrifices. This highlights the importance of trusting in God's goodness, even when the path is uncertain. Ultimately, Rebekah's decision to follow God's calling showcases the power of obedience. Her story serves as a reminder that God is faithful to those who step out in faith. By embracing her destiny, Rebekah became a vital part of God's redemptive plan, influencing generations to come. The meeting with Isaac. When Rebekah finally met Isaac, it was a moment filled with anticipation and divine significance. This encounter was not just a meeting of two individuals but a union that would fulfill God's promises to Abraham. The setting, a field where Isaac meditated, reflects the peace and purpose of their future together. Rebekah's first sight of Isaac must have been a blend of curiosity and wonder. She had left her home, family, and everything she knew to embrace a new life. As they came face to face, the weight of their union began to sink in. This moment was the culmination of a journey that involved faith, obedience, and divine orchestration. Isaac's reaction to Rebekah was one of deep appreciation. He recognized her as the answer to his prayers and the fulfillment of God's promises. Their initial connection was rooted in a shared faith and purpose, which would guide their relationship. This powerful meeting highlights the beauty of divine timing and how God's plans unfold in unexpected ways. The union of Rebekah and Isaac was a testament to God's faithfulness. Their marriage symbolized the continuation of God's covenant with Abraham. Together, they would play a crucial role in the lineage that would lead to the birth of nations. Their story reminds us that God often works through relationships to fulfill his promises. In their meeting, we see a beautiful representation of love rooted in faith. Rebekah and Isaac's union serves as an example of how God can bring together two people for a greater purpose. Their journey together would not be without challenges, but their shared commitment to God's calling would guide them through. Love and union. The love story of Rebekah and Isaac is one filled with purpose and divine intervention. Their union was not merely a romantic tale, it was a part of God's larger plan for his people. This love was founded on mutual respect, shared faith, and a commitment to God's promises. Their relationship became a model of how love can thrive when rooted in faith. As they began their life together, Rebekah and Isaac faced challenges that tested their bond. However, their shared commitment to God provided the strength needed to overcome obstacles. They learned to navigate the complexities of life as a team, relying on God for guidance and support. Their story highlights the importance of building a foundation of faith in any relationship. Rebekah's role as Isaac's wife was more than just fulfilling societal expectations, she became a partner in God's plan. Together, they contributed to the continuation of the lineage that would bless nations. This partnership exemplifies how love can be a powerful force for good when aligned with God's will. The love shared between Rebekah and Isaac also teaches us about the beauty of commitment. In a world where relationships can be fleeting, their story serves as a reminder of the importance of dedication and perseverance. They chose to love each other through every season of life, and their union became a testament to God's faithfulness. In the end, Rebekah and Isaac's love story is a celebration of God's promises. Their union not only fulfilled the covenant made to Abraham but also set the stage for future generations. This enduring love continues to inspire us to pursue relationships grounded in faith and commitment to God's plans. The meaning of Rebekah's name. The name Rebekah carries profound significance in her story. It means to tie or to bind, symbolizing her role in connecting two important lineages, the families of Abraham and Isaac. This meaning reflects her destiny as a crucial figure in the unfolding of God's promises. Rebekah's name serves as a reminder of the bonds that unite us to our families and to God. As we delve deeper into the significance of Rebekah's name, we recognize that it represents her identity as a woman chosen by God. She was not just an ordinary individual, she was a link in the divine chain of events that would lead to the fulfillment of God's covenant. Her name embodies the importance of her role in God's plan. Rebekah's life was marked by relationships, her connection with her family, her husband Isaac, and ultimately, her children. Each relationship contributed to the fulfillment of God's promises. Her name symbolizes the strength of these bonds and the vital role they play in our spiritual journeys. The meaning of Rebekah's name also invites us to reflect on our own identities. Just as Rebekah was chosen for a divine purpose, we too are called to fulfill God's plans in our lives. Embracing our identity in Christ helps us understand our significance in the grand narrative of redemption. Ultimately, Rebekah's name serves as a powerful reminder of the connections that shape our lives. It encourages us to honor our relationships while recognizing the divine purpose behind them. Through her story, we are inspired to cultivate meaningful connections that reflect God's love and faithfulness. Rebekah's role in Christ's genealogy. Rebekah's significance extends far beyond her immediate family. She plays a crucial role in the genealogy of Christ. As the mother of Jacob and Esau, her lineage becomes an integral part of the story that leads to Jesus. This connection highlights the importance of her faith and obedience in God's redemptive plan for humanity. Through her sons, Rebekah ensured that God's promises would continue to unfold. Jacob, in particular, would become the father of the 12 tribes of Israel, which were foundational to the nation of Israel. This lineage ultimately leads to the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. Rebekah's faithfulness was pivotal in shaping the history of God's chosen people. Rebekah's story encourages us to recognize the impact of our choices. Each decision we make can influence generations to come. Just as Rebekah embraced her role in God's plan, we too are called to live out our faith with intention, knowing that our actions can have far-reaching effects. Moreover, Rebekah's role in Christ's genealogy reminds us of God's sovereignty. He uses ordinary people to accomplish his extraordinary purposes. Rebekah's life exemplifies how God can work through our stories, weaving them into the larger narrative of his redemption. In reflecting on Rebekah's contribution to Christ's genealogy, we are inspired to embrace our own callings. Our lives, just like hers, can be part of a bigger story that brings glory to God. Her legacy challenges us to walk in faith, trusting that God can use us to impact future generations. Lessons of faith and obedience. Rebekah's journey is filled with powerful lessons of faith and obedience. From her willingness to leave her family to her acceptance of God's calling, she exemplifies the qualities of a true believer. Her story teaches us that faith often requires stepping into the unknown, trusting God to guide our paths. One of the most profound lessons we learn from Rebekah is the importance of responding to God's invitations. When presented with the opportunity to fulfill God's plan, she did not hesitate. Her immediate willingness to leave her home and embrace a new life serves as a powerful example for us today. It challenges us to examine our own responses to God's calling. Rebekah's life also illustrates that obedience may come with challenges. She faced the uncertainty of a new land, the responsibility of motherhood, and the weight of her choices. Yet, through it all, her faith in God's promises remained steadfast. This teaches us that trusting God does not mean we will be free from difficulties, but that He will walk with us through every challenge. Furthermore, Rebekah's story encourages us to embrace our roles in God's plan. Each of us has a unique purpose, and our willingness to follow God's guidance can lead to extraordinary outcomes. By living out our faith and responding to His calling, we can participate in the fulfillment of His promises. Ultimately, Rebekah's journey reminds us that faith and obedience are intertwined. Her life serves as a testament to the power of trusting in God's plans. As we navigate our own paths, may we draw inspiration from Rebekah's story and strive to live with courage, faith, and an unwavering commitment to God's will. The challenges faced. Rebekah's life was not without its challenges. After marrying Isaac, she faced trials that tested her faith and resilience. One of the most significant challenges was the struggle with infertility. Despite her deep desire to have children, Rebekah remained barren for many years. This experience must have been a source of great pain for her, as she longed to fulfill her role as a mother. During this difficult time, Rebekah turned to God in prayer. Her decision to seek divine guidance highlights the importance of turning to God in our own challenges. Instead of becoming discouraged, she chose to trust in God's promises. This reflects a profound understanding of her faith and an unwavering belief that God would fulfill His word. When Rebekah finally conceived, she faced another challenge, a difficult pregnancy. The Bible tells us that she experienced a great struggle within her womb. This discomfort must have raised questions about her health and the future of her children. Yet, Rebekah's strength and determination shone through, as she continued to trust God amidst the uncertainties. Rebekah's journey also involved navigating the complexities of family dynamics. The rivalry between her sons, Jacob and Esau, presented challenges that tested her relationship with both boys. As a mother, she had to make difficult decisions that would impact their futures. This illustrates the complexities of motherhood and the weight of parental choices. Through every challenge she faced, Rebekah's faith remained a guiding light. Her story encourages us to persevere in our own trials, trusting that God is with us every step of the way. In moments of struggle, may we remember Rebekah's example and choose to lean into our faith, knowing that God can turn our challenges into opportunities for growth and strength. Rebekah's legacy. Rebekah's legacy is one of courage, faith, and obedience. Her willingness to accept God's calling has had a lasting impact on generations. She played a vital role in the lineage of Jesus, becoming a significant figure in the story of redemption. This legacy is a powerful reminder that our choices can shape the future. As we reflect on Rebekah's life, we see how her faithfulness opened doors for God's promises to be fulfilled. Her decisions influenced not only her immediate family but also the course of history. This highlights the importance of living with intention, recognizing that our actions have far-reaching effects. Rebekah's story teaches us about the value of obedience. She embraced her role with grace, despite the challenges she faced. Her legacy encourages us to follow God's leading, even when it requires sacrifice. By doing so, we participate in a greater purpose that extends beyond our lives. Moreover, Rebekah's life inspires us to embrace our own legacies. Each of us has the potential to leave a mark on the world, just as she did. Our stories are woven into God's tapestry of redemption, and we can make a difference by living out our faith authentically. Ultimately, Rebekah's legacy serves as a testament to the power of trusting in God. Her life encourages us to pursue our callings with courage and commitment. As we walk in faith, may we honor her legacy by embracing our own roles in God's plan and inspiring others through our actions. The importance of community and support. Rebekah's life illustrates the significance of community and support in our spiritual journeys. She was not alone in her challenges, she had a family and a broader community that played a role in her life. From her early days in her father's house to her marriage to Isaac, the relationships she formed were crucial to her growth and development. The role of family in Rebekah's life cannot be overstated. Her decision to leave her family and marry Isaac was not just a personal choice, it was a step into a larger family that would support her in her new role as a wife and mother. This transition highlights the importance of having a strong support system as we navigate life's changes. Moreover, the community surrounding Rebekah was instrumental in God's plan. Her willingness to embrace her calling was supported by the prayers and encouragement of those around her. This serves as a reminder that we, too, benefit from the encouragement and prayers of our communities. Sharing our burdens and joys with others strengthens our faith and helps us remain focused on God's purpose. Rebekah's experience teaches us about the importance of seeking out supportive relationships. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who share our faith can provide encouragement during difficult times. Just as Rebekah leaned on her community, we can find strength in each other as we pursue our own callings. Ultimately, Rebekah's story highlights that our journeys are not meant to be walked alone. God places people in our lives to uplift and support us as we follow His calling. Embracing the importance of community can lead to deeper connections and a stronger foundation for our faith. Rebekah's role in the fulfillment of God's promises. Rebekah's life is a testament to God's faithfulness in fulfilling His promises. From the moment she was chosen to be Isaac's wife, she became a pivotal figure in the unfolding of God's covenant with Abraham. Her actions and decisions played a crucial role in the continuation of this promise, demonstrating how individual lives can impact the greater narrative of God's plan. The promise that God made to Abraham was one of descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. Rebekah, as the mother of Jacob, contributed directly to the fulfillment of this promise. Her willingness to accept her role and her commitment to God's plan were integral to the birth of the 12 tribes of Israel, who would become the foundation of a great nation. Rebekah's story encourages us to recognize our own roles in God's promises. Each of us has a part to play in His divine plan, and our choices can have a lasting impact on future generations. Just as Rebekah embraced her calling, we are invited to step into our purposes with faith and determination. Moreover, Rebekah's legacy is a reminder of the importance of perseverance in faith. The challenges she faced did not deter her from fulfilling God's plan. Her unwavering trust in God allowed her to navigate difficulties and remain committed to His promises. In our own lives, we can look to Rebekah as a model of faithfulness. As we face challenges and uncertainties, may we remember that our obedience can contribute to the fulfillment of God's purposes. Each step we take in faith brings us closer to seeing His promises realized in our lives and the lives of those around us. Rebekah's influence on future generations. Rebekah's influence extends far beyond her immediate family. As a matriarch of Israel, she set an example for future generations on how to live with faith and purpose. Her life story teaches us about the importance of modeling faith for those who come after us, as our actions can inspire and guide others in their spiritual journeys. Her role as a mother was pivotal in shaping the destinies of her sons, Jacob and Esau. Through her guidance and example, she instilled values and principles that would carry on in their lives. This highlights the profound impact parents and mentors can have on the next generation, shaping their understanding of God and His ways. Rebekah's legacy also serves as a reminder that our influence is not limited to our biological families. We have the opportunity to mentor and inspire others in our communities, churches, and workplaces. By living out our faith authentically, we can leave a lasting impression on those around us, encouraging them to pursue their own relationships with God. As we reflect on Rebekah's life, we are challenged to consider how we can be positive influences in the lives of others. Are we modeling faithfulness, obedience, and love in our interactions? Our choices can inspire others to seek God and embrace their callings. In the grand narrative of Scripture, Rebekah's story stands as a testament to the impact one life can have. Her faithfulness and obedience continue to inspire us today, urging us to pursue our callings with courage and conviction. By following her example, we can contribute to a legacy of faith that transcends generations. The relevance of Rebekah today, how her principles can be applied. Rebekah's story is not just an ancient tale, it resonates deeply with our lives today. In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, her ability to listen to God's voice serves as a reminder of the importance of discernment. We often struggle to hear what God is saying amid the noise of modern life, but Rebekah's example encourages us to seek His guidance actively. Applying Rebekah's principles today means prioritizing our spiritual lives. She demonstrated that faith should be at the center of our decisions. Just as she stepped out in faith to fulfill God's plan, we too can commit to making choices aligned with our values and beliefs, trusting that God has a purpose for us. Furthermore, Rebekah's courage in leaving her home and family highlights the importance of being open to change. In our own lives, we often face transitions that can be daunting. Rebekah teaches us that embracing the unknown can lead to incredible opportunities and growth. Additionally, her commitment to service is a powerful lesson. Rebekah did not just respond to God's call for her life, she also served others selflessly. This principle encourages us to look beyond ourselves and find ways to contribute to our communities, making a positive impact on those around us. Ultimately, Rebekah's story invites us to reflect on our own lives. Are we listening to God's voice? Are we willing to step out in faith and serve others? By applying her principles, we can navigate our lives with purpose, courage, and faith. Rebekah as a female role model, the importance of Rebekah as an inspired figure. Rebekah stands out as an extraordinary female figure in the Bible, embodying qualities that make her a powerful role model. Her story showcases the strength, courage, and faith that women can draw inspiration from. In a time when women were often marginalized, Rebekah's decisive actions highlight the impact a woman can have on God's plan. One of the most striking aspects of Rebekah's character is her willingness to listen and respond to God's call. She exemplified strength in her decisions, demonstrating that women can take the initiative in their spiritual journeys. Her story empowers women today to embrace their roles as leaders, both in their families and communities. Moreover, Rebekah's compassion and hospitality serve as important virtues. Her readiness to serve Abraham's servant reflects a selfless attitude that we can all aspire to. In a world that often promotes individualism, her example encourages us to cultivate relationships and serve those around us with love and kindness. Rebekah's ability to navigate complex family dynamics also speaks volumes. She played a crucial role in the lives of Isaac and her children, teaching us the value of wisdom and guidance in nurturing relationships. By fostering unity and understanding, we can create a more harmonious environment in our own families. Ultimately, Rebekah's legacy is a powerful reminder that women have a vital role in God's story. By embracing her qualities of faith, strength, and compassion, we can inspire future generations to pursue their callings with confidence and courage. The spiritual connection: what Rebekah's story teaches us about faith and trust in God. Rebekah's narrative is rich with lessons about faith and trust in God. From the moment she met Abraham's servant, her willingness to trust in God's plan set the stage for a life of purpose. Her story invites us to reflect on our own faith journeys and how we can grow in trust, especially during uncertain times. Faith is often tested in the face of the unknown, and Rebekah's journey exemplifies this struggle. She faced significant changes when she left her home to marry Isaac, a man she had never met. This leap of faith teaches us that trusting God means stepping outside our comfort zones and embracing the path He lays before us. Rebekah's story also emphasizes the importance of community in our faith. Her relationship with Isaac and her family shows how connections can strengthen our trust in God. Surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals who encourage us in our spiritual journeys can make a significant difference in our ability to trust and follow God's leading. Additionally, Rebekah's resilience in the face of challenges inspires us to remain steadfast in our faith. Just as she navigated her life with determination, we too can cultivate a strong faith that persists through trials. Her example encourages us to lean on God during difficult times, reminding us that He is always present. Ultimately, Rebekah's journey teaches us that faith is a dynamic, ongoing process. By trusting in God and embracing our spiritual connections, we can deepen our relationship with Him and navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. The call to action: how Rebekah's story encourages us to serve. Rebekah's life serves as a powerful call to action for all of us. Her willingness to serve others, especially when she provided water for Abraham's servant and his camels, illustrates the heart of true service. In today's world, where self-interest often prevails, her example reminds us of the importance of putting others first. When we consider how Rebekah acted, we see that service is not just about grand gestures, it's often found in small, everyday acts of kindness. Whether it's helping a neighbor, volunteering in our communities, or simply offering a listening ear, each act of service can create a ripple effect of positivity. Moreover, Rebekah's story highlights the idea that serving others is a reflection of our faith in action. When we serve selflessly, we demonstrate the love of Christ to those around us. Her example encourages us to evaluate how we can actively contribute to the well-being of our communities, embracing opportunities to help those in need. By following Rebekah's lead, we can find fulfillment in our lives as we serve others. Engaging in acts of service not only benefits those we help, but it also enriches our own spiritual journey. Serving can be a transformative experience that deepens our connection to God and enhances our understanding of His love. Ultimately, Rebekah's life calls us to reflect on our commitment to service. Are we actively looking for ways to make a difference? Let her story inspire us to take action, serving others with joy and compassion. Final reflections on the calling: what it means to accept God's call in our lives. Rebekah's journey offers profound insights into the concept of calling. Her willingness to embrace God's plan for her life demonstrates that accepting His call is not always easy, but it is immensely rewarding. Each of us has a unique purpose, and Rebekah's story challenges us to seek and fulfill our calling. Accepting God's call often requires sacrifice and a willingness to step into the unknown. Just as Rebekah left her home and familiar surroundings, we too may need to let go of comfort to follow our divine path. This act of surrender can lead to transformative experiences and opportunities that we may never have imagined. Moreover, Rebekah's role in God's plan teaches us about the interconnectedness of our journeys. Our decisions not only impact our lives but also influence the lives of those around us. Understanding this truth can inspire us to make choices that align with God's purpose, fostering a sense of responsibility in our actions. Additionally, reflecting on Rebekah's faith encourages us to cultivate a deeper relationship with God. When we accept His call, we invite Him into our lives in a profound way. This relationship becomes a source of strength and guidance as we navigate life's challenges. In conclusion, Rebekah's story serves as a powerful reminder of the beauty of accepting God's call. Are we willing to listen and act upon His guidance? Let us take inspiration from Rebekah as we seek to discover and fulfill our unique purposes in the grand tapestry of God's plan. Rebekah's life is a beautiful tapestry woven with themes of faith, obedience, love, and divine purpose. Her story teaches us invaluable lessons about responding to God's call, embracing our roles in His plan, and the significance of community. As we navigate our own journeys, may we draw inspiration from Rebekah's example, living with intention and courage as we seek to fulfill God's purposes in our lives. Her legacy challenges us to recognize the power of our choices and the impact we can have on future generations. Through faithfulness and commitment, we can honor Rebekah's memory and contribute to the unfolding of God's story in our world. Don't let this moment pass by, start taking steps toward a life of purpose today. If you found this exploration of Rebekah's story inspiring, subscribe to our channel and activate notifications. Join us as we continue to uncover the wisdom of biblical figures and learn how their journeys can guide us in our own lives.